Welcome. My name is Marco McKellany, and today we will be talking about the intertwinement of class and race in Brazilian culture. And specifically, we're going to look at how racial stereotypes in Brazil's society have caused skin tone and class to correlate. Brazil became a republic in 1889, nearly 67 years after its independence in 1822. Preceding Brazil's governmental formation was one of the most groundbreaking pieces of legislation in the country's history, the Golden Law, or also known in Portuguese as a Lei Áurea. Brazil became the last country in the Western Hemisphere to abolish slavery, and that was the beginning of the tension in regards to classism and racism. In the mid to early 1900s, one of Brazil's main ideas was to whiteify the population. This was Brazil's idea of a racial democracy. Racial whitening in the 1930s after immigration came about due to scientific racism, which led to believe that Brazil's future was in trouble if the population wasn't whitened in time. In Brazil today, 56% of the population identifies as black, but less than 18% of that population makes up Brazil's Congress. Today, 75% of murder victims and 75% of people killed by the police just so happen to be black Brazilians. In the film Brazilian Western, based in Brasilia, João de Santo Cristo is a black man living the life of a criminal because of the many hardships faced in his early life. The scene already begins with the house owner using a classist diss towards João as he walks in.
Lúcia trouxe o segurança do pai dela.
Vieram?
Você fuma, velho? Não. Desse eu não fumo mesmo. Parece bosta de vaca. Ô, Gerê! Esse maluco aqui falou que teu bagulho é palha, hein? Isso aqui nem cocô de vaca. Ainda falou que arranja um bagulho bem melhor que o teu.
Ah, é? Bagulho da onde? Você é tão bom assim, eu também quero. Fala aí, ô. Você vem na minha casa pra me ofender, tá caladinho por quê?
Você é convidado de quem, ô?
Pelé.
Fui eu que chamei.
Although Pelé is an iconic figure in Brazil, the house owner is using the term as a derogatory way of describing João's skin color. Then being described as the doorman's son, João is assumed to be poor, presumably because of his skin color and especially due to stereotypes. The film goes on to show the difficulties of an interracial relationship in Brazil. João confronts Maria Lúcia after a strain in their relationship.
Quero falar com você. Que é isso aí?
Esse é o João, pai. Ele é amigo do Beto. Mas ele já tá indo embora já, né? Ele não tá aqui não, depois. Tchau.
A queer look of worriment from her father, Maria Lúcia eventually calls out her father that the fear comes from João's skin color.
Tava procurando o Beto.
Você não tá metido em confusão não, né?
Só porque ele é preto.
João's fight in Brazilian Western is against humanity. He clearly loves Maria Lúcia, and that love is mutual. But the girl knows that João would never be accepted by her father. Certain propositions in Brazil are impossible due to race and class barriers. João's love must remain in private, an awful consequence due to the perception of darker skin colors in Brazil.
Então vai lá na sala pedir minha mãe pro meu pai.
Você não vai. Vai, você não vai. Vai, fala com ele. Para.
Você vai acreditar em mim? Você vai acreditar em mim? Eu vou falar com teu pai.
Vai. Vai. Chega. Chega.
Eu também não aguento mais. Eu não aguento mais.
In the film The Two Deaths of Quincas Waterhill, a white man named Quincas Waterhill, who ran away from a strict, posh life to live a freer life, passes away in his sleep.
Boa tarde a todos, boa tarde às madames, aos ilustres. Eu sou o Cabo Martins, sou ex-cabo da reserva das Forças Armadas Brasileiras. Esses aqui são os meus companheiros, o grande poeta Curió, o fiel sentinela pé de vento aqui. E tem o Pastinha. Ô, Pastinha, vem cá, entra. Pode entrar, meu bom, não se acanhe, não. Vem cá.
Ele era o pai da gente. Ele era o pai da gente. Ele era o pai.
A gente veio ver o distinto.
Agora que vocês já viram ele, podem nos dar licença?
A senhora vá desculpando, dona, mas um pelotão nunca abandona seu comandante.
Quincas is a character who brings together two different worlds. His family are embarrassed for themselves over his outfit and how he lived, rather than giving grief to his death. His comrades are of concern to the family as well. Although the comrades have a clear love and admiration for Quincas, the divide seems too big for them to be accepted by the family.
Não, escândalo não. Lá não tem comida nem bebida.
In Aquarius, the movie is led by a character named Clara, who refuses to move out of her apartment and follow the path of gentrification in the city of Recife. Clara is clearly a more middle-class woman in comparison to João in Brazilian Western, but deals with similar humanistic issues as the latter. This scene depicts a different type of dynamic between class and race. Clara is a character clearly feeling aggrieved that Diego thinks he can bully her just to get his way, with Clara calling out his privilege.
Não tem, quer dizer, tem, o seu caráter é o dinheiro. Portanto, meu amor, você não tem caráter. Só tem essa carinha de merda, é isso que você tem. Eu vou te falar uma coisa. Eu já te disse, eu vou repetir. Eu não tô brincando. Eu só saio daqui morta.
Você não me conhece, Clara. Mas tá certo, eu prefiro lhe ouvir e respeitar. Até porque olhando daqui, dá pra ver que você com certeza veio de uma família que batalhou muito mesmo pra chegar onde chegou. Né, Clara? Uma família de pele mais morena, né? Que deu muito suor pra ter o que tem. Te respeito.
A middle-class woman is confronting a wealthier man who eventually degrades her due to her having a darker skin tone. There's a clear racial tension going on here and represents Brazil's landscape when it comes to gentrification and differing classes. No matter the area of Brazil, the intertwining of class and race is clear. Whether that is a poor man in João trying to revive his own humanity through the racism and stereotypes he deals with, to a middle-class woman dealing with gentrification in Recife. Different areas have different forms of racist classism. Brazil's racial democracy is yet to come through, and may never come through. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.